All right, YouTube. I'm back. I'll be coming back later this week. May do a stream. Y'all hear the cicadas make a lot of noise. I may do a couple streams this week. By the time, um, just been in the flow, going on supposed to do, and I would like to be proud of it. You know, by the time you finish the work day and took care of business, man, it's rough right now. You know, so I try to do what I can. The other thing is like looking at what's going on and looking at what goes around across my news feeds, whatever social media I'm looking at, it becomes tiresome. Um, I don't know what this woke thing really is about because it's not really woke. It's actually dumbing down. It's actually doing the opposite. It's making people be distracted from what's important. You know, the stuff that goes on my news feed, man, I skip over a lot of stuff. And then, like, honestly, I get a little bit annoyed seeing the same stuff over and over again, people trying to revise it. Um, I've talked to y'all about things being circular and repeat with no actual attempt or even effort um, to where they want something solved. They definitely don't want to give you real valuable information. They want to keep you entertained. They want to keep you coming back. If people fall for it, that's on them. That's part of the problem too. People fall for anything. I I am amazed, but this governor race that's going on in NC, and the black gentleman Mark Robinson. I've actually met him and talked to him in person. Um, he was brought to our place of business, and we were all able to, of course, listen to him, give a speech. You know, really wasn't much to it. I myself, I wasn't impressed. Um, and I don't. If you ever hear him speak, nothing wrong with his accent. Nothing wrong with him being a Southern country boy. But it seems like you kind of wonder how did he become lieutenant governor? You know, um, now he had a lot of momentum, and I think he had potential with his momentum and where he got so far. But I was kind of wondering myself, how did this guy become lieutenant governor and a Republican at that? So it had to be a follow money issue, or it had to be basically like him attaching himself to some kind of good old boy system or something. Because, like I said, intellectually, I wasn't impressed. Uh, Now, I applaud the brother for what he's done so far, but like most politicians, when they start talking, it just doesn't seem concrete, and then there's no substance. You know. Now, I actually asked him a question, and he was like, "Man, that's a good question," and he wasn't ready for that. He had to really prepare to give me an answer. The answer was okay, but me witnessing him in person and seeing the propaganda was going on and seeing some of his rants, you know, kind of kind of took me to the point to where like even with the Biden administration, with the current presidential race, I'm kind of at my wit's end. I don't know how y'all do it. Uh, Me mentioning woke earlier, real being really woke is different from the woke that they promote. And you'll get in the mental state to where like you get exhausted listening to this nonsense. and you seeing this fiasco. Um, I mean, the people got to do better. At this point, it ain't even them. The people got to do better. Y'all got to ask better questions. Y'all got to have better assemblies. Y'all got to have better issues brought forth. Y'all gonna have to start telling other people that the things that y'all are worried about or trying to make issues is mess. It's either evil mess. It's a waste of time. It's in the way of what's most important. And you're gonna have to start asking them to do things that are actually needed. Um, and getting into like when I ask the question, can they really win? Of course, they win some kind of way. Whether it's a system within the system, it looks like voting to the eye, but again, some type of good old boy system or um, appointment underlying it, making it look like it was a voting process. To me, they really, at this point, just disrespect the public. And I don't like either candidate. You know, I'm all off the Democratic wheel. Um, I'm always suspicious of Republicans. There's only going to be certain things that I probably would favor over Republicans versus Democrats because the Democrats have made a stone cold mess of everything. It's a free for all. Democrat means free for all. So when you have a free for all, there's no structure, and that means that stuff can go in disarray. Numbers, economics is one of those things, and that's one of the most important things that has to stay intact in order for a country to function and be solvent. Economics, you know, people need to be able to provide a living and keep the machine going. And when you do that, uh, I had a conversation about abortion, and I shut it down quick. I shut it down quickly because it was brought to me, and I was like, I don't care about abortion. I don't understand what the issue is. Um, it shouldn't be this hard. And most of the people I see fighting for abortion is women, and most of the people within that group, you know, are free spirited 304s, my body, my choice type women, you know, versus an actual need to do something of that nature if you're, raped, you know, S8 or something like that, or M'd, or I, things like that. I get it. That should be the only things really talked about in that matter. But for the most part, like, if you are a woman and you can't be selective of the men that you get impregnated by, I don't give a shit. Me personally, I don't. Those the things that I named off, I care about those things. But like, if none of those things are happening and you're just running around and you're being a consensual adult, then I don't care. So I don't understand why people keep talking about it's a woman's right versus this versus that. You know, um, and then for the dudes, man, like if you shoot the club up, oh well. You and her got to deal with that. However y'all work it out. So I personally think there's other more important stuff to worry about. You know what I'm saying? I'm an economics guy. I'm a pay scale guy. Uh, I pay attention to things like the Feds raising the interest rates with no regard for nobody. Uh, it's just outright illegal, and you watch it. I think about the pay scale being 30, 40 years behind. Minimum wage is actually supposed to be about around $30 an hour. That's minimum wage. So your average 15, 16-year-old should be making $30 an hour. Companies should be paying that. Sounds far fetched, but when you've been stuck at 725 since what, late 80s, 90s, something like that, it don't make sense. and the prices of everything goes up, and especially the last 3 4 years drastically. As such, with the rates, you know, taking vocational training out of high school, taking deterrent from the penal system by allowing first-time offenders, nonviolent, or whatever criteria be met to allow those guys to have an option to go to the military versus prison. So you don't have to do this real extreme draft eligibility you came up with a while back. There's things that makes way more sense. And within that, that'll put more young men back on a productive path, which also will give them um, a job history and career opportunity in which you have a chance to build families. So, me personally, I'm like, why does everybody keep talking about the nonsense, the stuff that don't make sense, the stuff that's not important, the stuff that's common sense? Uh, I mean, and that was the purpose of the Constitution. The creation of America was based on common sense principles. I mean, now when you get all this, do what I feel, anything I think, my opinion, everything goes out the window. So these people really don't say what they need to say, and the stuff that you see recorded, the commercials, the videos, whatever you call that, I don't forget what you call it, man. Campaign commercials, like that stuff, man. That you see them talking about, you'd be like, what does that have to do with anything? So I don't know, man. I look for more important stuff. I don't know what the rest of the public is finding was core issues that would, if these things were taken into account and taken care of, that they will also remedy other underlying issues. You know, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I really don't get it, but I would like to see this brother win. You know, he's just not saying the right stuff. They just start talking crazy. They don't say the right stuff. None of them say the right stuff. You know, even the person that he's running against, Mr. Stein, man, I'm telling you, man, our future is doomed. Bad leadership, bad character, bad individuals. This is a show. This is not. Um, this is not a fair reality with opportunities in it, and where positions can change and shift based on qualified persons who really have goals and who really have an interest in the people and who really hold public interest at heart, public welfare at heart. This is something else, man. What y'all witnessing now through your local, state, and federal governments, what y'all witnessing now is really a veil that's dangling before you, and it's up to you to reach and grab and be like, see it for what it is. You know, it has been a show for so long. And I'm sitting here looking at it like, how can anybody else continue to look at the show and not understand it's a show? It's not what they're presenting it to be. So I'm gonna holler at y'all later. It's your boy Zulu Gullah. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm gonna get with y'all later. Y'all be safe and y'all be cool. And we'll tap back in.